tremendous looking trophy.
We're the Platinum Explosion #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here to do another episode that nobody's going to care about in a couple of days.
That's the solid truth of this one, because this week, let's just get over the trophy cabinet real quick. We got a bronze trophy for Terminator, giving me deja vu. I got a silver trophy for saving the goddamn planet. I got a gold trophy for Batman, more than one, and we hit a platinum with this State of Play hype. That's right, the hype, not the actual show, because this comes out the day before. Literally to the hour. This will post at 6 a.m. Tuesday, as it does every week, week in and week out, like, because we're the fucking best PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. Week in, week out, 6 a.m. on Tuesdays. When's the State of Play happening? 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. God fucking damn. So this week on this show, I'm going to talk about some things. Probably not going to, none of you is probably going to care. That's fine. Perfectly understand. I wouldn't either. But I'll take this episode as my chance to talk about random things. Like how I got this Bloodborne vinyl last week.
Ooh.
I'm like, I was listening to it today, and I'm like, I can talk about that in the we don't do a vinyl podcast. We don't do a music podcast.
Not yet.
Has a fucking PlayStation podcast, has a PlayStation symbol on the back. It's officially
It's
relevant.
PlayStation adjacent.
Yeah, officially PlayStation adjacent. So I keep buying these things, but I always sub. You know, I mentioned I got Last of Us once. Oh, I got the God of War one, and then I think after the last one I got, which was the Spider-Man one, which like weeks after getting it, I was like, oh yeah, I got that vinyl, by the way. I'm like, I need to start remembering to actually bring these things up on the show and be like, here's the thing I got. It's very cool. Yeah, so I was listening to this though. This is my general impressions of the Bloodborne original soundtrack vinyl that's come from Lace Records. It's very pretty. I don't really want to get out a single single disc over there. They're not actually discs. They're records. But I don't want to get it. It's this really nice green color. They got pretty pictures on it. That's all great. But my one thing for listening to it was, like, I knew the music was good. Here's the thing. I knew I liked the music. But then I think, honestly, listening to it on its own, separate from the game, because the game is so hectic and frantic, and most of the time, I swear, I was like just so in the game, I wasn't actually paying too much attention to the music, if you know what I mean, because I was so stressed out at all times playing it. And then listening to music today, I'm like, there's some really good, like, I remember this piece. This is what, like, it was coming back to me about, oh, this is when you're fighting Father Gascoigne. This is when you're fighting the fucking spider thing. This is when you're fighting the thing. So that's really good. Really enjoying that. And that's my hashtag Dylan's mini review of the
Hashtag vinyl review.
Vinyls review. Doesn't matter if there's only one. I'm just going to say vinyls consistently because I know it pisses off some people. So let's talk about a couple things here. Firstly, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare beta, open beta is now happening. And I didn't jump into the last one, which was just the gun game thing they had going on. Okay, cool, whatever. This one I was highly intrigued to try out because it is the where they've got it set up so you can test playing PC. You can play on your PC with everyone. You can play on your console with everyone. You know, it's the open beta testing across all consoles where they actually have the cross-platform play happening. And I just wanted to test that out to see how, like, if you can tell who you're playing, if they're like on different systems, like, does it actually tell you? How does it all work? Did I think that playing on my PC, I could tell who was playing on consoles? You know, any sort of like symptoms of these sorts of things. Could I play on my PS4? Was I getting my ass kicked more than I would regularly? Because I'm like, all of a sudden there's PC players there. And I gotta be honest, I'll say no. I'm not, you know, it was running well. I jumped in. I did a few rounds of every mode. They got team deathmatch happening. They got the ground wars happening, which is basic. So team deathmatch is team deathmatch, right? You run around, you're shooting people. I did some of that. I'm like, very good. It's Call of Duty. I'm killing people. I'm shooting people. I did really shit the first couple rounds, and then I was like, okay, I'm enjoying it. I tried that one out on PS4 as well. I didn't try Ground Wars out until I jumped into it on the PC. And I'll tell you what, Ground Wars is absolutely fucking nonsense. I think it's supposed to be like Battlefield, like kind of like Rush or like the capture the flag mode. I can't remember what the actual title is, but like a big open map where there's heaps of different points where the teams have to capture them, objectives to capture these sorts of things. But it's a really big map. There's helicopters you can get into, ATVs, trucks, like it's big enough that vehicles come into play, these sorts of things. I think it's 32 versus 32 is what it is. So not 100 people, but 64 is still pretty big, and that thing is fucking utter nonsense because the maps are big, but they're not like Battlefield big, which means that there is just shit happening everywhere. Literally every second of the game I felt like something was exploding somewhere. There was always fucking people dying around me. I'm like, this mode is the one that if you just want to run in and just be in the middle of the most like hectic action, I think that's the one to play. Really died my thing there. The third one, gun game or gun, I don't know if it's called gun game. Yeah. That one is 2v2, and it's probably the most stressful because, yeah, it's you and someone else versus another team of two, right? And the maps are pretty, the map they had up in the beta is small. You're probably literally, I don't know, like maybe 20 meters away from each other or something, like from one end to another of this area. And as soon as it loads in, you each have to quickly run, grab a gun, and then it's the first to kill the other two members. And obviously that becomes quite hectic. And then if the person that you're playing with is utter trash, then you're going to get really annoyed and blame them for all your losses. And that's how it's going to go. Now me, it's first to 6. Yeah, 6. So for example, the last match I played last night where I rage quit was because it was match point. We're tied 5 for 5, me and the other team. And my teammate dies. And I've killed their other person. So I've killed one. My teammate's dead. I'm like, cool. I just got to get the other kill here. 2-0 the team. Come out the victor. Get us the win. I'm fucking behind the dude. He doesn't know I'm there. And then, of course, under pressure, I pretty much shoot a figure 8 around him, but don't manage to hit him at all once. And then he turns around and headshots me. And I just Alt F4 and quit. I'm like, I'm done.
It sounds less like you rage quit, more that you lost.
Oh no, I lost, but I was like, I was so angry at myself for. I was like, because the first dude, perfect headshot, bang, sneak around the side, sneak up this far away, bang, 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 miss every shot. I fucking hate myself. I hate this game. I hate everything that's happening here.
I mean, it seems like it's all human error, so I don't know what the game's fault.
It's all Ash. Listen to me.
Yeah,
it's always the game's fault. Okay.
Let's see. Well, you know how you would have solved this problem. You had to play it on PS4, then you would have.
That's true. Yeah. So to talk about the cross-platform play thing, no matter what platform you're playing on, PS4 or PC, when you're loading into to a game, like you're in the lobby and it says all the player names there, it'll have next to them a symbol telling you what they're on. If you're on either version, PC, Xbox, PS4, whatever, you can opt out and choose that you only want to play with people that are actually on your console. But it seems that from default, it's going to have it set to cross-play. So it'll say, like, it'll have little PlayStation symbol with a controller next to it. People playing on keyboards and mouse, it'll have like a little PC symbol and then a mouse next to it. I think if you're playing on PC and then like with a controller, it'll have like a little PC symbol, and next to that it'll have a gamepad symbol. So it tells you what everyone is doing, how they're playing, and how you want to go about it. Some matches on PC, there'll be like one person playing on PlayStation 4. I'm like, okay. Some others, it'll be like half the people playing on PS4. It's like, so it was just always kind of random. The same for the couple I did on console as well. It's just kind of random. And by that I mean the amount of PC players I was hitting on PS4 was about the same amount of PlayStation players I was playing on PC, which is to say that no matter what platform you're playing on, it does definitely seem to prefer just to hook you up with people on the same platform that you're playing on. It doesn't like try and purposely put you in with console players or PC players. It just kind of seems to fill slots and these sorts of things. So when I was playing on PC, no issues, no lag issues. You definitely couldn't. Once you're into the game, can you tell who's on console, who's on PC? No. Playing console, there was a couple times where some people got some massive headshots on me, and I would have to say that, like, not to say you can't do them on console, but it's definitely like some of these people like doing jumping in the air 180 turns and then fucking shooting me real fast. Then I'm like, they're PC players, because to do that on console is just simply not impossible. Obviously, you can do it. It's just not as simple. Obviously, like because with a mouse you can pull off the quick turn a lot easier than with an analog stick. So there was times like that where you're like, but would it annoy me personally, like playing? No, because I'm not like a hardcore FPS person where if someone beats me, I'm like, oh, damn it. If you're that type of person, then I think you'll just opt out and you would just solely play with either PS4 players or PC players or do what you need to do. Either way, Call of Duty beta was Call of Duty. I shot some people. I did one really good match. I got fucking full kill streak happening. Went absolutely insane. And then the game after it, I'm pretty sure I died like 20 times and got 2 kills. So, ebbs and flows, as they say. Ebbs and flows, ups and downs. Yeah, Call of Duty. Now, you got FIFA impressions. Do you have FIFA impressions for me?
I do. So I've only played like an hour and probably a half, maybe 2 hours of FIFA 20. Mainly been playing the new mode, the FIFA Volta, which is the like FIFA Street.
Oh, this is the thing from the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've been playing that. It varies. You can play 5-a-side, 3-a-side. You can play in arenas with like walls and stuff, so you can kick the ball against them. And then it's got like a basic story mode where you join this team that's planning to go to Worlds, and then your star player gets injured, and then everybody decides to quit because they're like, no, this team sucks now because we don't have the star player with no chance. And then you got to build the team back up. That's the story.
Of course.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of customization. Like there's a bunch of like clothing options for you to customize all the players on the team and stuff, which is a little bit iffy because there's like microtransactions for certain
of course there is
items as well. They've put in this mode as well. So on top of the Ultimate Team thing where you buy packs, you can buy hats and shorts and jackets and stuff. The actual Volta is fun. It's super fast paced. It's very much unlike the like full on proper thing, proper soccer match. It's like first to 5 goals, or I guess there's a time limit on the games as well. But they hit you hard on the counter. Like you need to have your positioning really well, otherwise, as soon as you lose the ball, like they can kick it from like halfway into your goal because there's like no goalkeepers in some of the modes. So yeah, it is pretty brutal. I've struggled to get through this first section, so definitely be putting more time into it. But I feel like it's something you need to get into the rhythm of because it feels very different, like different enough to the base game.
I was going to say, isn't it good that for once there's actually something different in the FIFA game?
Yeah,
that's clearly very different to the last entry.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll be putting some more time into it. They also got this weird, when you beat a team, you can recruit one of the players from that, but at a certain point, you're just going to end up with like 500 players potentially. I haven't looked too much into it, whether you can get rid of them or not, but interesting.
Is this out or is this for?
No, I think it's just a preview for the EA Access thing.
Okay, so. Yeah, I was about to say. I did think it was actually like.
I think it's out next week, so.
Yeah, that week early.
It's a 10-hour trial, so I'm about 2 hours into that.
Yeah, 10-hour trial. You're gonna get the game anyway. Come on.
Maybe.
You reckon
I might get my fill out of this.
You reckon 10 hours is like, done.
Yeah, I get my fill of this Volta thing, and then if I want to go back, I'll just play the FIFA 19 still there.
Sure. Whatever works.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Are you going to be jumping back into Fortnite anytime soon?
I know there's a certain event that's happening at the moment. I'm not sure whether it's worth investing my time into it or not.
That's right. In case anyone doesn't know, there is a Fortnite cross Batman event happening. And this is the only Fortnite event so far that's made me go, do I want to download Fortnite? The only one, because I'm like running around playing as Batwoman and Catwoman as well. You can get in it. What? What did I say?
Batman.
Yeah, Batman, Catwoman.
You said Batwoman.
Oh, Batman, Catwoman, man. All of them, all of those characters, apart from Batwoman. Yeah, so you're gonna be able to unlock and play as both of those. Run around. The event's running until October 1st, I think it was. No, it was something like that. I think it says at the end of the trailer here. Yeah, honestly, every time they keep doing these Fortnite events, I'm like, nah, Thanos, whatever. The Avengers one, don't care, whatever. Batman, maybe I said, at the same time, I'm like, do I download? But even if I download Fortnite just to do this, it'll be like, I'll probably play it for like an hour and then that's me done, So yeah, do you reckon you're actually going to check this one out?
Yeah, I might check it out and then talk about it on this week's Arcade Couch.
Well, you played the last couple, didn't you play?
I did play I tried out the Thanos Avengers Endgame one.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, it's just there. So
if you don't,
pretty sure I still have it installed. I just need to update it or whatever.
If you don't play this one, it's officially confirming your Marvel bias.
Oh well, then I need to. I can't have that hanging over my head.
It'll be 100% proof. All right, so talking about Batman, one of the big rumors that's been coming out today is actually a follow-up thing. So, on the most recent episode of Arcade Couch, last week's episode, we talked a little bit around this whole Batman rumor thing. And the reason I'm bringing it up again, following up on that story on Platinum Explosion this week, is because it could be old news because, state of play. But anyway, so IGN covers the story and says, where is it here? Batman Arkham Origins developer Warner Bros. Montreal posted a video celebrating Batman Day early Sunday morning, which contained a series of cryptic images that could be teasing a new Batman game. In what appeared to be nothing more than a 30-second clip of a city building illuminated by the bat signal, a somewhat common occurrence on Batman Day, 4 different images flash by every few seconds. Here's each image as they appear while paused, courtesy of Twitter user NYC Wall Spider. You got bloody Spider-Man over here helping out the bat people. Thank you, Spider-Man. So they've got the 4 images here, and to me, it's like a Ra's al Ghul symbol thing, right? And then you got the Court of Owls symbol. Is what it is, as far as I'm concerned. Cut and dry. I'll take no arguments. I'll take no prisoners. I'll take nothing else. That's what it is. Then Warner Bros. Montreal game director Jeff Eleanor also shared the original video, quote retweeted it saying, something going on with the emoji of the person wearing the sunglasses. From our observations, each image appears to bear at least some resemblance to symbols of figures or organizations in Batman lore. The most obvious ones would be the final symbol that appears, which seems to depict a sort of demonic face. Our best guess is that this may be related to Ra's al Ghul, a long-time enemy of Batman and nearly immortal terrorist. Conveniently enough, Ra's al Ghul translates to head of the demon in Arabic. Another symbol bears a resemblance to the Talons, the enforcement arm of the mysterious Illuminati group, the Court of Owls, which works in the shadows to orchestrate many of Gotham City's biggest developments. See the resemblance in the tweet below. Of course, all of this would be guesswork, blah, 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 blah. But then they do mention that mysterious post from Warner Bros. Montreal last December on Twitter. Associate producer Valerie Vazina posted a photo of herself that everyone got hyped about last year because it was a picture of her wearing a shirt that was very clearly a Court of Owls or Talons or however you want to say it, shirt that she was wearing at the time. Then nothing came of that. But then also to add much fuel to the fire on this, Batman comics writer Scott Snyder tweeted out Sunday afternoon a notably less cryptic message than his counterparts at Warner Bros. Montreal, saying, quote, "Wait for it, hashtag beware the Court of Owls." Snyder's tweet read, Snyder's tweet has since been deleted since he posted it. So it's always good when people tweet stuff, people catch it, and then they delete it. Because I honestly feel like once it's there, I don't know why people bother deleting it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's already, you've tweeted it, someone screenshotted it, it's there. Like the story is going to be the story is going to be written, and I feel like honestly half the time it's like deleting it then is more of a like there's something to this, like there's
well, I mean there probably is something to this, but then it's also I'll get rid of this so I won't get a million notifications blowing up my phone.
Well, yeah, possibly. So yeah, I saw people responding to the video, the Warner Bros. Montreal video, saying, "Oh yeah, but this could be nothing." To that, I say, out of bullshit. why would they post a video? Why would they post a video with a clearly edited in secret symbols just for jokes? I don't think they.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Well, my first thought is why would they do a Batman logo? But I guess they did do Arkham Origins. So
yes. Also to add more, so then you have that. You have the video with the symbols. You then have Scott Snyder. Of course, if you don't know, Scott Snyder created the Talons, the Court of Owls. He wrote the original story. It's one of my top 5.
Huge run on Batman.
Sorry. Yes, huge run
on Batman.
Huge run on Batman. He's
still writing Batman.
One of my favorite comic book writers of all time, and I consider that story, the Court of Owls storyline, is probably one of my top 5 comic book runs of all time. But I also think I have a soft spot because that's like when I was most heaviest into comic books. Like I have every single issue of that storyline, because I was buying it monthly, and it was like that was really when I was like, yes, I'm deep into fucking comics at the moment. So if this is Court of Owls, I'm going to be like, whoop 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 whoop. My first 2 birds that I owned years ago, I named one of them Talon, and then I named the other one Strix, which was the name of the female Talon member that actually breaks away and then goes and becomes one of the birds of prey. So I was big into, I'm naming my just put my credentials on.
Putting credentials out.
Putting the credentials out there, yes. I'll be pretty excited if this was a thing, and I definitely want to believe it's a thing. But also on top of that, we have heard, even a year ago, there were Court of Owl rumors happening. Do you remember all these? People like Court of Owls game, blah, blah, blah,
the
blah.
Works. It's been talked about for a long time now. So
long
enough that any hint towards it is going to send people into a frenzy.
Yeah. And then, of course, the thing that we talked about on Arcade Couch last week, the original story where Roger Craig Smith posted...
who voiced Batman in Arkham Origins. He posted out a tweet basically saying, I wish I could talk about something I'm working on now. It's definitely not video game related, blah, 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 blah. And then there was a whole hinting and stuff about that. So at the time, I was like, yes, that's it. I'm taking this as proof to the bank. And you were like, nah, get fucked. Now, I don't think I said those exact words.
Kurt Day, how are you feeling now about all this stuff? Batman
is pretty much... I think we're definitely getting a Gotham-based video game.
Okay, I like your very specific word.
Vague.
I'll say I don't need it to be like star and play Batman. I would be happy to play a game actually. Like if they're gonna say, League of Assassins versus the Court of Owls, or like League versus, you have to fight a whole bunch of the Talon members.
I mean, I'm probably leaning towards it being about like you playing as Batman, or at least the talk is you play as the Bat family, is the other rumor that had been
switch
going around for all.
Yeah, which would also make sense because in the comic book it has like all the Robins and stuff like that.
So potentially it's like a faction based,
like
open world game where you're fighting both the Court of Owls
and both of those teams work very well. Like they're not like super related, like super connected, like similar, but at the same time they're both 2 organizations which like work from the shadows in secrets. Without spoiling too much about like potential Court of Owls storylines, for in case the potential game uses too much of it, but like their whole thing in the comics is like they've been pulling strings from behind the scenes for quite some time in Gotham City, and that's like their whole thing.
Gotham City's origination.
Yes, yeah, and League of Assassins, of course, is often going to different cities, parts of the world, and they're trying to change history and change events for their particular reasons. So they kind of work. You could definitely do a game where they're both maybe teamed up or against each other. I don't know. Either way. Now, the second question for this is, we'll talk about it fully in a bit more, but a state of play, as we were saying at the start of the episode, has been announced 6 a.m. Wednesday. And they have said, and we'll talk a little about this in a second, but they have said The Last of Us 2 is going to be there. So do you think it's too much for The Last of Us 2 plus a Batman game announcement to be within 20 minutes?
I mean, PlayStation hasn't done anything for months. Months, I say. Xbox went to E3. Xbox went to Gamescom and did stuff. Nintendo have had a bunch of directs between last time we got a state of play now. So, they can like drop a pretty sizable thing. Yeah, and we don't need to see a lot from this game.
No, just a teaser trailer,
like a cinematic teaser trailer.
Yes,
and confirmation that it's actually being worked on.
Yes, which that's all I would need personally, like a teaser trailer that I could start, theorizing
and
about.
A massive PlayStation blog post.
Yeah, anything. I don't know. I'm down for it. I'd be super pumped. Like if I'm sitting there watching it and they announce this thing, I'm going to be amped. I do wonder like if they would do it though, simply because I do think like, I don't know, like to a lot of people, obviously the Batman game is bigger than Last of Us. Not everyone cares about Last of Us, but they're both pretty big franchises, So it's like, would they be stepping upon themselves a little bit there? And is a PlayStation thing, like it's not going to be a PlayStation exclusive unless it is, weirdly, but I highly doubt it's PlayStation exclusive. So then it's like, are they going to announce that as state of play?
I mean, Last of Us 2 is obviously a known quantity, so we know what we're getting. What we want to know is when it's going to be here.
Yeah.
So like the surprise reveal of the new Batman announced game will be huge and probably wouldn't step. I mean, it might overshadow a little bit, but Last of Us 2 was so huge as well that confirmation of a release date would be just as big a news.
Well, I suppose timeline wise, state of play happens if they were to announce a Batman game. That would probably be the biggest thing from it. Even if they announce a release date for Last of Us, I think Batman announcement would probably overshadow it for the day. But then the following day, Last of Us preview coverage is potentially going to come out with all these media people attending the actual Last of Us event, and then they're getting home or getting to the hotels. They're posting video, they're posting articles, whatever. So then from that moment on, it's like Last of Us is in full coverage, especially
for the next couple of days,
especially because the rumors for that is that people are going to get 3 hours hand on, is what the rumor is for that event. Geez. Which is, if true, that game is basically finished if they can show 3 hours of it to people.
Yeah.
And then the other rumor that I do want to cover too much time here as we move on to the Last of Us part of this, but there is also a rumor going around that they might announce a like Last of Us 2 multiplayer beta, like around the corner or something like that, which is like, I mean, yeah, like it's going to happen eventually. Like, I mean,
it's smart. Last of Us 2 multiplayer was pretty big amongst the community.
Yeah. So, so Last of Us, the thing is, they announced the state of play first. This was the funny thing about it. They announced the state of play first. So like, we're doing one 6 a.m. Cool, be excited. They put it up and said, tune in, sporting a brand new look along with around 20 minutes worth of exciting news, including new game reveals, Batman, new content from PlayStation's worldwide studios, and a host of other updates. So that's what they originally said. But then Neil Druckmann comes out on Twitter and he tweets out a picture of this knife swirling around and says, Last of Us Part 2 will be at State of Play, tune in then. So how much of a 20-minute thing will be devoted to The Last of Us during the State of Play, we don't know. I would presume 20 minutes goes by very fast if half of that is literally Last of Us, so that's why I'm like, I don't
think we'll get an extensive.
No, I'm kind of with you. I think that we will get a trailer. I think we'll get a new trailer that will end with the release date. So I think that's just a 2 to 3 minute trailer, and I think potentially just opens the State of Play. I think opening makes sense because it's a known thing now. Everyone's tuning into the State of Play, knowing that Last of Us is going to be there. That's what they're tuning in for. So if you open with it, you show a trailer, you do what you need to do. Release date, everyone's like fucking happy as Larry. And then if they do or do not show Batman or whatever else after that point, no one can really complain. You know what I mean? If after that point all they do is show a bunch of PSVR games that everyone complains about, apart from people who have PSVRs, they can't complain. You've got a Last of Us, you've got a release date. But I would put 100% release date for sure. Or do you think that there's a chance they won't?
No, they definitely will.
Yeah. But we will find out, of course, 24 hours from now if this is out. So there's no point really spending too much time
on it,
theorizing about it. The Batman thing was more interesting.
Talk about it next week.
Yeah, the Batman thing was interesting because we don't know if that'll actually be at State of Play, but worth kind of theorizing about that. Theorizing about what Last of Us is going to show us. Probably just wait. Yeah. If I was some,
they're just going to show us Joel dying at the start and then becoming a ghost.
Yeah, maybe sticking
be
to
great.
that fucking theory. I would say we would usually, if I'm going away for a couple of days to Melbourne, that's why we're not going to be doing a bonus state of play episode. If I wasn't doing that, probably would have done it. So you'll have to wait.
Maybe I'll talk about it with Kieran on this week's arcade couch.
If you want
to
to
get it a little bit quicker.
Do you need to? Yeah, you can. You're in charge of the show. You can do whatever you want. All right. So moving on. Sony now owns the rights to Insomniac's past projects, including Sunset Overdrive rights, PlayStation Lifestyle.net. Following Sony's acquisition of Insomniac Games, questions arose about what the future may hold for the studio's many IPs. In particular, people might have wondered what would happen with Sunset Overdrive, which was formerly an Xbox One exclusive. Interestingly, it seems that questions have been answered. Sony does indeed now hold the rights to Insomniac's existing properties, which includes Sunset Overdrive. During Tokyo Game Show 2019, Japanese publication Inside Games sat down with president of Worldwide Studios for Sony Interactive Entertainment, Shuhei Yoshida. When asked about Sunset Overdrive, Yoshida merely stated, quote, SIA holds the right to past Insomniac works. Upon being pressed more specifically about Sunset Overdrive's history on the Xbox One, Yoshida again answered rather vaguely, saying that he's, quote, looking forward to future titles from Insomniac. So it'll be quite interesting if within the next 6 months or whatever, they decide to, or the next 12 months, whatever, they decide to port over Sunset Overdrive to the PlayStation if they actually now own the rights fully to all of Insomniac's titles.
I mean, we knew they owned the rights. It was more a matter of whether they were actually able to publish copies for PlayStation.
I think they can, because I don't think Microsoft owns shit.
So they can just take Sunset Overdrive, obviously changed a few things, and put it on PlayStation 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they published it and just called it like a complete edition or like a Game of the Year edition or PlayStation edition, yeah, then they're pretty much off to the races. They can do whatever they want there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. I think I started it on Xbox. I didn't go back to it because the other stuff coming out. I think if it came out on PlayStation, I'd probably be like more keen, because obviously I'd get trophies all of a sudden, and that game's probably like, as far as like trying to platinum it, it's very much a collectathon and that sort of things. Like, you know, go around, collect things, that kind of zoned out game, you open world. But it's also a game that I know a lot of people didn't particularly play. It did well, you know, fine. But I think on PlayStation, it would actually do a lot better. Like,
I think the amount of people who are constantly asking about this game since Insomniac has been bought proves that it would have done way better on PlayStation.
Yeah, I think it
whether
would
it's just people who want to play every single Insomniac game,
yes,
and just haven't got an Xbox. I mean, it's a game that came out 5 years ago, and people are still craving it, I guess, or wanting more.
Yeah. Would you pick it up if it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I could totally. I'm pretty sure I've got a copy of Sunset Overdrive in the house.
Oh, really?
On Xbox, but never got around to playing it.
No,
I think the more important thing we need to talk about is the other properties that they've gotten now. In that case, now they own Fuse.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they can reboot that and make it what they originally were wanting to make.
Nah.
You know, they got Song of the Deep, which was published through GameStop's.
Yeah, and EB Games here. Yeah.
That was pretty well received, and I guess they've got all the rights to all the
VR stuff
they've been making.
Yeah. Which I don't know if any of that's actually possible to. They'd have to do, because it's a lot.
It would be more of a technical issue.
To bring over the PSVR then, yeah. So, but maybe they're able. Maybe they will get part of Insomniac porting a lot of these things. I don't know.
They also have the rights to the iOS games Outer Noughts, Fruit Fusion, Bad Dinos, Digit and Dash, Slow Down Bull, and the Magic Leap 1 game Ceiling.
They're all coming. I completely forgot we actually talked about these that one time where we were talking about like the history of Insomniac, and then we was like, what are these games? And a lot of them we kept being like, well, I didn't play it because, you know, it's not on PlayStation. But now maybe a lot of these, even the VR ones, maybe they will eventually come to PlayStation if they decide to, if they warrant that putting people onto porting these things is of relevance. I don't know if they will or not. Possible though.
Possible.
So one quick thing I just wanted to go over here, simply just because it made me think about something when I was watching it. So they put out this trailer this week they announced this Terminator Resistance game, right? It's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. It's not a PlayStation exclusive, but watch the trailer and like, okay, sure, it looks like a Terminator, like a mediocre Terminator game. I've played a bunch of these.
It looks like a movie tie-in game.
Yeah, this one's first-person shooter, unlike third-person, which the last Terminator game I played was, which is why I thought this was funny. I'm really excited for this game because I'm going to hope it's an easy platinum, because the first platinum I ever got was Terminator Salvation, the game, which was a third-person shooter, movie tie-in, obviously, for Salvation. It took you about, I think, 2 hours to beat, even on hard difficulty, 2 to 3 hours to beat. It was the first Plat I got because me and my friend went halves in renting it. We then did it in turns. I did it on my PlayStation. He did it on his PlayStation. We helped each other out. Both got our first platinums that way. Terminator Salvation. Watching this trailer for this, I'm like, cool. It's been made by the people who did the fantastic, from what I hear, Rambo game that came out last year. So, the bar is set. Checkmate. And I hope that the trophy list is easy and good, because I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up for nostalgia reasons, I'll platinum it just out of respect for my trophy list, for my trophy cabinet,
Okay.
You don't understand, Ash, but me and that first platinum have it's history, If I didn't get that first,
it would only be fitting if that was your last platinum, I guess.
What are you saying about die? Jesus Christ.
No, just retire from gaming.
So this show, Platinum Explosion, maybe this show isn't even called Platinum Explosion if I never played Terminator Salvation. Do you think about that?
I mean, we probably still would have called it Platinum Explosion.
Would we though?
Yeah, because...
What if I didn't care about trophies? What if I didn't care about trophies?
I guess we would have called it something worse.
Just saying, Terminator is a lot closer to this show than people will give it credit for. The last thing I wanted...
Thanks, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, thank you. The last thing I wanted to go over here is, I saw this post up on Press Start before, and I just thought it was quite interesting. Not much to discuss, but it's also not a news piece that I don't think would be covered anywhere, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So Press Start writes, Sony has provided a little tidbit of information about the PlayStation 5 in a statement detailing the effort to combat climate change. Obviously relevant because we had all these climate change initiatives and people out around the world this last week, which was fantastic. So Sony says that next generation of PlayStation will use significantly less power than the PlayStation 4. They estimate that the PS5 will use 0.5 watts of power when in rest mode. For comparison, the PS4 uses 10 watts of power when in rest mode and 0.3 watts of power when completely turned off. So the PS5 will only use a tad more power in rest mode than when the PS4 does when it's completely turned off. So I thought that was actually quite staggering, to be honest. Like, as far as I know it's not like, obviously when you're looking at a new console, people want to hear about new graphics and fancy features and stuff. But I've got to be honest, seeing this, I'm like, that is a significant fucking upgrade. And if you actually give any shits about like how much power all the objects in your house are using, either for like, either A, to cut down on for environment reasons, or B, just because you want to pay less on your fucking power bill, I think it's absolutely nuts that they can get the PS4 in rest mode to use 0.2 watts more than the PS4 when it's completely turned off. That is some good fucking science.
So when it's completely turned off, all it's really doing is having the little tiny light on or something.
Yeah. Well, all devices use a tiny bit unless you turn it off at the PowerPoint. That's why if you're going away a big holiday, obviously you're supposed to turn everything off because everything's still getting set a tiny bit and could cause accidents, what have you, all these sorts of things. But yeah, I thought that was absolutely crazy because that is
crazy because in rest mode you'd be potentially like downloading shit and that kind of thing. And
I leave everything in rest mode, right? I don't turn any of my stuff off. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I'd say most people probably leave their stuff in rest mode, but that means I'm using 10 watts of power
That means you're like 20 times less power.
Yeah.
I think.
I
don't know the math going backwards.
The math isn't great.
Getting
The math
smaller.
isn't great. But either way, I think that's actually like really, really pat on the back to whatever team is specifically in charge of like whatever section of the console this is, because getting something down from one console to another using that much less power, I think is well worth celebrating. And with that, we'll celebrate the end of this week's episode. Thank you for joining us on Platinum Explosion. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaladil, VIVAL8DIL. You can follow Ash on Twitter at Ashley Holby, ASHLEYHOBLEY. You can follow the show on Twitter at Plat Podcast. You can help out the show by giving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, or alternatively, just send out a tweet to any of our Twitter accounts. Tell us how much you enjoyed it or you hated it. Whatever. That's what you need to do. You join our Discord to chat with us about games, ask for trophy chips, send in questions or topics for the show, explosionnetwork.com/Discord. And this is, of course, a product of the Explosion Network, of which you can find many more shows, articles, news, reviews, much more over at explosionnetwork.com. And you can follow Explosion Network on Twitter at ExplosionPod. Until next week, where we'll be talking about Last of Us Part 2, maybe Batman, whatever else is shown at the State of Play.
Who knows?
Who knows what? It's going to be crazy. We'll nearly be a week old with the news by then.
Sunset Overdrive.
Whatever. Sunset Overdrive. That was crazy that was announced. Yeah, madness. Remember that every trophy counts.